Imagine waking up and the first thing you see is stone. Stone above you, stone below you, stone in every direction. No windows, no sky, no sunlight, only the faint flicker of a clay lamp and the sound of thousands of people breathing somewhere in the darkness below. This wasn't a prison. This wasn't punishment. This was home. For tens of thousands of people, possibly the entire population of a thriving city, living underground wasn't a last resort. It was a civilization. In 1963, a man in the town of Derinkuyu in central Turkey was renovating his home. He broke through a wall in his basement and found a room. Then another room. Then another. He kept digging, and the rooms didn't stop. What he had discovered was one of the most extraordinary structures ever built by human hands. An underground city carved deep into volcanic rock. A city 18 levels deep. A city with room for nearly 20,000 people. Their livestock, their food, their entire way of life. For centuries, Derinkuyu had been hiding in plain sight, and no one fully understood what lay beneath their feet. Today, we're going down into that hidden world. To understand Derinkuyu, you first have to understand the land it was built in. Millions of years ago, massive volcanic eruptions covered this region of central Anatolia with thick layers of ash and lava. Over time, that material hardened into a soft, porous rock called tuff. Tuff is remarkable. It's soft enough to carve with simple hand tools, but once exposed to air, it hardens and becomes structurally stable. Nature had essentially given the people of Cappadocia a landscape they could sculpt from the inside out. But who actually built Derinkuyu? The honest answer is, we're not entirely sure. The oldest layers of the city may date back more than 3,000 years. Some historians believe the Phrygians began excavating chambers here around 800 BCE. Others think earlier groups, possibly the Hittites, may have started the first tunnels. What we do know is this: Derinkuyu wasn't built all at once. It grew over centuries, generation after generation, expanding it, deepening it, refining it, not as a monument, but as protection. For thousands of years, this region sat at the crossroads of empires. Persian armies marched through. Arab raids swept in from the south. Byzantine forces fought to hold the land for centuries. Violence wasn't rare, it was expected. When danger came, and it often did, the people needed somewhere to go. Somewhere armies couldn't easily reach. Somewhere that could sustain thousands of people for weeks or even months. Their answer was carved into the earth itself. The entrances to the city are deceptively small, just narrow openings in the rock, barely wide enough for one person to squeeze through. This was intentional. A narrow entrance meant attackers couldn't rush in, they would have to enter one at a time. And inside, defenders were waiting. Just beyond those entrances sit one of the most iconic features of the city. Massive, circular millstone doors, each one carved from solid stone, some weighing over half a ton. From the outside they were nearly impossible to move, but from inside, a single person could roll the stone into place, sealing the corridor completely. Each stone even had a small hole in the center, just large enough to thrust a spear through if enemies got too close. 3,000 years of threat had been turned into architecture. But protecting the entrances was only the beginning, because hiding thousands of people underground creates another problem. They need air. The engineers of Derinkuyu understood this. Running through the entire city is a massive ventilation shaft more than 55 meters deep. Fresh air traveled all the way to the lowest levels. Hundreds of smaller shafts connected chambers and corridors, creating a natural airflow system that kept the city breathable even when entrances were sealed. Modern engineers who have studied the system are still impressed by its sophistication. But air wasn't the only necessity. Water was essential. Derinkuyu contains an intricate system of wells, cisterns, and water channels. Crucially, many of these water sources were accessible only from inside the city. That meant enemies above ground couldn't poison them. As you descend through the levels of Derinkuyu, the city begins to reveal its full complexity. There are stables, food storage rooms, kitchens carved directly into the stone, wineries and olive presses, living quarters for families. There is even a full Byzantine church with a vaulted ceiling carved into the rock. There are classrooms, and what archaeologists believe may have been a religious school. Derinkuyu wasn't just a hiding place, it was a functioning city, a place where life continued, even when the surface world became dangerous. But one discovery inside the complex reveals just how carefully life underground had to be managed. Small, low-ceilinged chambers set apart from the main living areas. Archaeologists believe these were quarantine rooms, places where the sick could be isolated so disease wouldn't spread through the tightly packed population below. This wasn't just survival, this was governance. Imagine the moment danger arrived. A lookout on the surface spots a cloud of dust on the horizon. An approaching army. The alarm is raised. Thousands of people begin to move. Livestock are herded into the tunnels. Food stores are checked. Children are passed hand to hand through narrow corridors. Then the stone doors roll into place, one by one, sealing the world above away. And suddenly, there is silence. Above ground, soldiers search empty villages, fields abandoned, homes deserted, but below their feet an entire city waits in the darkness. 20,000 people sharing the same air, the same water, the same fragile trust that the systems they built would hold. And often they did. Historical records suggest people sometimes stayed underground for months at a time, particularly during the Arab raids of the 7th and 8th centuries. Children grew up knowing the smell of tough stone better than fresh rain, the flicker of oil lamps better than sunlight. And yet, when the danger passed, they returned to the surface. They rebuilt. They lived. And when danger came again, they went back underground. But Derinkuyu wasn't alone. Archaeologists have identified more than 200 underground settlements across the Cappadocia region. Some small, some nearly as large as Derinkuyu. And the most astonishing discovery is this: some of them are connected. Derinkuyu is linked to another underground city called Kaimakli by a tunnel estimated to stretch more than 9 kilometers. An underground highway system, invisible to any army marching above. Even today, researchers believe much of this underground network remains unexplored. There may still be undiscovered chambers, undiscovered tunnels, entire sections of ancient cities still hidden beneath the earth. And perhaps that's the most remarkable part of this story. When we think of Derinkuyu, we often frame it as a place of refuge, a place people fled to. But that misses something important. The people who built Derinkuyu didn't simply hide. They built schools, churches, wineries, homes. They built a city, a complete and functioning civilization, one that just happened to exist in darkness. Derinkuyu is a monument to human adaptability. But more than that, it is a monument to human refusal. The refusal to let circumstances reduce life to mere survival. Even in darkness, people create community. They create meaning. They create civilization. And in the carved stone corridors of Derinkuyu, thousands of people once lived full lives, together, beneath the earth. And that might be the most extraordinary part of all. If you enjoyed exploring this hidden world, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next journey into history. And let me know in the comments which ancient civilization you want to explore next. I'll see you in the next one.